Good evening. It is 7:05 on June 17th. This is the regularly scheduled Township Committee meeting. Recognize that we have the forum of Township Committee here in person. Committeeman Stevenson, Committeeman Hickey, Committeewoman Mareski, and myself. Committeewoman Fernandez has an excused absence. She's getting ready for her youngest's high school graduation from Bernard's High. And Gina is preparing the what it's called?
Last night,
Last
something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
night. So she's got a very busy.
We had senior cut day.
This is not senior cut.
No,
No.
otherwise Gina would not have to do anything.
Yes.
Ah.
Ms. Ray, will you please have the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Yes, Mayor. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Committee was sent to the Courier News Somerville, Bernardsville News Whippany, and to all subscribers and posted at the Township Municipal Building on January 5th, 2024.
Great, thank you. Please join me standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is the time of the meeting. We open up the microphone for public comment. If you got a comment or question you want to throw out here, now's your opportunity. So remember, state your name and your street.
I'm David Rogers. This is my mother, Patricia Rogers. We live on Union Grove Road. And we got a notice in the mail that we were going to discuss the drainage on Union Grove and Longview Road tonight. So we're here to hear about that.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, let's move on. We have one set of meeting minutes to approve. That's the June 3rd, 2024 Township Committee meeting. Any comments regarding those minutes have not otherwise been provided to Ms. Ray? Seeing none, take a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Two raffles, an on-premise merchandise raffle to benefit the Timothy J. Piazza Memorial Foundation, Inc. on August 12th, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Fiddler's Elbow, and an on-premise 50/50 raffle to benefit the Timothy J. Piazza Memorial Foundation on August 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Fiddler's Elbow. Any questions or comments regarding those two raffles? Seeing none, take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Monthly report discussion by subcommittee chair. Doug Stevenson, you start.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. On our DPW, Kevin and his team continue to mow the roads. We've done the hike and bike path. We've got comments from the folks going to the farmers market that pass that along. So hopefully they'll see the improvement down there. So we'll always appreciate that. And the residents let us know about things. Patching holes on potholes out on the streets. Continue to work on the street lights. That continues to be an issue. And the report from Kevin is that the Union Grove paving project anticipated to go out to bid later in the summer with an award for early fall. On historic preservation, thought we were going to have a month off, but it looks like we've got something on the agenda for this week. So we'll meet. It's a sign application. So I'll report back to that next time. And I believe that's all I've got. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman Hickey.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, all. Board of Health, we don't meet until this Thursday, and we have a packed agenda, so I'll definitely have a report for our next meeting. And Library, Mayor, I think we have the month off since it's June. We do. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Committeewoman Mareski.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. We had a quick meeting with the Environmental Commission. They're working on the plaque that's going to go with the Salem oak. They're trying to get some good prices so that they can get something really nice and something that will last as long as that tree does. And then they spent a lot of time trying to decide on a new logo for the Environmental Commission. They are so proud to be working with each other and working with Bedminster that they're going to buy their own shirts to let everybody know that they are the EC of Bedminster. So when they go to events like the farmer's market, we will know who they are. And that's all I have.
They're gonna buy their own shirt.
They are going to buy their own shirts. Yep.
Robin,
They have a lot of team spirit. They are an awesome group,
They have a budget.
but
do have a budget.
They do have a budget, but they would prefer to use that budget on that night, bird night, any of the programs that are coming up, and they will take it out of their own pockets. I commend them highly for that.
All right,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
all right. Well done.
And I have a JBH meeting on Wednesday.
Okay, and is there an update from rec? Any
There's no Gene.
no?
No.
Gina?
No.
Well,
Okay,
I can tell you,
Oh,
he's just been jamming. Camp starts next week, so he's got orientation this coming week with all the campers. Supplies are rolling in and getting ready to make that big move up there with truckloads of information.
fully staffed?
It's fully staffed and ready to roll. Very busy.
Great.
Is it sold out?
No, Camp Bedminster is not sold out. The afternoon camps are, however.
Just say, I mean, having had children go through that over the years, that it's a fantastic experience, you know? I encourage the folks to take advantage of it.
And
the
Neil,
members are
Neil
asked
is,
to
Neil is
pre-COVID.
prepared for the last minute.
Hey, can I do it?
I forgot to sign up. Doug, your microphone is not coming
I
through.
apologize. Can you hear me now? I apologize. I was just saying that the that the event was definitely worth it was a great event, a great cause.
So for my subcommittee reports, we'll start with farmers market. We had second week in a row, we hit the same number of attendees coming through, 1,270. And in the first hour from our 10 o'clock count, 471.
correct.
Jeez.
A number we usually think about, November Day, that's the total number.
It was crazy. Parking cars that morning, that first hour was.
We are offering valet now?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
A little stressful.
Yeah, it was a little stressful out there, but we got it done. So it was just weather was perfect. Vendors, folks coming up and just saying, we're really pleased at the way the operation. We heard tremendous compliments about the parking, getting people in, getting out. Fully understanding that we're trying to avoid the backup onto the road, and Colin will send us on the radio backups to the jug hand. So
Geez.
Move 'em on.
get them in, get them out off the road, get them into the fields, onto the gravel, park them, get them in, get them back out. But certainly one of the things that we're noticing is that we ordered additional picnic tables this year. Constant use.
Yeah.
Constant use. So it's not just that we're getting more people and they're also staying, which is just one of the tremendous things about seeing the park put into productive use. Once again, folks that might not otherwise use River Road and its recreation facilities, they're coming out and they're seeing, you know, all the assets that Bedminster has for recreation and open space. So it's just once again, terrific day. And well done to Neil and to all the volunteers who are supporting. Land Use Board. So catch up on two meetings from the Land Use Board. One meeting that Committeeman Hickey and I attended, and the other that we were not eligible to attend. So first one, the Weichert property on the corner of Lamington and 206. That's property where the tree with the heffa tree or whatever, however you want to call it, that was approved way back when as a bank. As a bank with a drive-through. Weicker had made that application, I'm gonna say 13, 14 years ago, maybe. I was on land use board, I was on the TC at the time. They came in with an application. That property is actually in two zones. It's a split zone between the office facing 206 and then the village neighborhood facing Lamington. And they came in with an application for a building that is going to be first floor retail, second floor commercial office. It was unanimously approved and I think there was tremendous support for the architecture.
Yeah.
Brick, the little bit of federal style finishes. I know it did go through HPC, so I know that there was support there. And I think one of the things that we had heard from the land use board was looking at the property, looking at that corner and seeing it really as a gateway into the village neighborhood. So there was very good support for that property. Also, one of the elements of that project that the board had asked to be considered was a sidewalk coming down from 206. So right now you can cross 206. That's the crosswalk that we've been asking DOT to extend the pedestrian signal. But there was no sidewalk going further south. So we asked that they put a sidewalk in to allow for connection to the advanced property where there had been an approval for the Fresh Pet headquarters space and perhaps down the road some retail. So this way we get a connection between that commercial property and the village neighborhood on Lamington. So the applicant agreed to do that and implement that. And so there was once again support from the land use board for that. The next application that was the following week, and this was last week, 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Last week.
Yeah.
That was a zoning board application for the reconstruction of Bedminster Florist. So we all remember Bedminster Florist and the fire that April year and 3 months ago at this point.
Oh, so, maybe
That
you're
was
right.
spring fling.
Oh, the spring fling, you're right. So it
It's
was,
not even
you're,
spring
yes,
fling,
you're right.
so yeah, that would have been April.
Right.
So it's been demoed. Pretty much, but they came in with an application to rebuild. I did not see the plans, and Colin neither did you. But my understanding was approved unanimously to rebuild Bedminster Florist, and we wish them great success in their return. So that's what we have from the land use board. I'll be talking later on. We did have another get together with the other mayors on the Somerset Hills Public Safety Committee. Talk about that in a bit. And Robin, anything else I'm missing on
Civics Day,
what's that?
Bedminster School Civics Day.
Oh, we hosted, yes. We hosted the Bedminster 8th grade. That was a week and a half ago. We had, I don't know, 60, 70 kids. And between Ms. Ray and I and Kevin and some folks in the police department, actually, no, the police were busy that afternoon. They were supposed to be there, but they were off on calls. Fire department. So we took the 8th grade through Public Works. We took them through the fire complex. They got to see, they actually brought out some of the ladder truck. Got to see how that operates. What also was interesting is that 3 of the firefighters that were hosting the 8th grade were graduates of the Bedminster Township School. So that was a nice little connection there. And then after we finished at Far Hills Bedminster Fire Department, we brought them in here, gave a couple little questions about Bedminster history, Bedminster government, the type of government we are, and then James Tricarico, did I say that right?
Yes.
Tricarico, along with Robin, did a little PowerPoint presentation on how the township operates, how we put together a budget, how the municipal budget compares to the school budget, which was numbers that I didn't realize. So what was it, 40 million? Was it close? Was it 28? It was a number that was higher than I remember.
6 million.
Yeah,
For the whole town.
yeah, the difference between running the entire town and running the school and how big the school budget is versus the municipal budget. Now can't tell you that the eighth graders were particularly enthralled by the presentation. But then after James, they got access to the mayor.
No.
And so they have their questions ready, asking us about the operation of the town, how the township committee works. And, so kudos to the
Ryan
Ryan
McCoy.
McCoy.
Yeah, he's the 8th grade social studies teacher.
So Ryan McCoy, so he's been with the school for what, 2-3 years now. He implemented this program to bring the eighth graders in. It's been, very successful. And also to the principal of the middle school, the 6th, 7th, 8th graders. She was also in attendance. And, once again, kudos to them. Kept the kids here. Robin did a great job. She had goodie bags ready for them with all sorts of Bedminster paraphernalia. And it was a nice afternoon. The weather was
Thanks to
great.
the police for contributing. They always contribute their goodies too, so.
So it was good. So,
Thanks.
and that is, there should have been cupcakes. Can we do cupcakes? We can't. Can we? We have to go to gluten-free and
It's true.
peanut allergies. And Robin, did we talk about the meeting with Senator Steinhardt
Yes.
at our last meeting? We talked about that. That's right. And that's what I have. Robin, you want to do the administrator's report?
Sure. Just to follow up, clerk administrator, today we received the final municipal and county committee results, including the write-ins. We've been getting updates all along. Today we prepared the notifications of the duly elected county committee, which we send out here at the township. And then the county clerk's office will send out any write-ins from township committee level and higher. As far as another project that we're working on is document management. The clerk's office oversees the annual destruction of our municipal records. They're all prescribed deadlines and retention period that we need to follow. This is done through the state treasury, Division of Revenue and Enterprise Services. It's a lot for each of the departments. We all have to get permission to destroy records. We're doing that in preparation for our municipal shred, which is coming up in July, where Public Works takes boxes and boxes down to the municipal shred. So it's a big project, all hands on deck for it, right down to Ed Kerwin with all his boxes. Been a very busy couple of months just getting that together. Somerset County has relaunched their curb hunger program. County residents continue to experience food insecurities at our local food banks are at an all-time low, and especially with school ending. Really, there's a huge concern with children in the summertime and making sure that they get food. So instead of doing the curbside pickup, because now they have the new garbage trucks, they've asked different municipalities to contribute to participate in Bedminster as a participating drop-off location for non-perishable food and personal hygiene items. So we have a new receptacle that's in our main lobby. We've sent out a rave message, and we have information on our website. So we just hope that everybody will pitch in and get our food banks back up. We are preparing for the heat wave for this week. County OEM has been in touch with Chris Brown. I've been in touch with the library, which is our cooling center, and should we need to, cross that bridge, we will go ahead and make notices available to the public through rave. We'll contact all of the HOA presidents as well as the property managers so that they all know that our cooling center is the Bedminster School Library. And let's see,
Clarence Dillon.
I'm sorry,
Clarence.
Clarence Dillon Public Library is our cooling center. Sorry about that. We are going to go ahead and begin the archaeological study at the site of the proposed community garden at River Road Park. I did receive approval from the state DEP, State Historic Preservation Office, that the proposal was spot on, which is exactly what they're looking for. Just want to make sure we have our ducks in a row. So you'll see the field will be mowed and in order for the study to be conducted. And then just road paving project, we have the Union Grove, Blissville, Daly, and Longview bid documents that are in their draft format right now. We hope to advertise in July, and as Committeeman Stevenson had reported, go to bid in the fall. And as far as Riverwood and Tuttle, that requires additional engineering studies due to some drainage issues. So we probably will not go out until to bid for that until late fall, possibly winter, with the anticipation start in the spring. So it's been delayed.
Okay, thank
That
you.
concludes my report.
Do we have Chief Bernardo on for?
Well, you do.
We do.
Chief Bernardo's here.
Hey, good evening.
Oh, there you are. Right. We hear you, we don't see you.
Yeah, I don't have any new information for the community policing update, Mayor.
Okay, well, thank you. I know we do have a meeting up in Signal Point. So, and Officer Rivera?
Yes,
Is that-
Officer Rivera will be there.
Okay, so we'll bring Officer Rivera, who also showed up at the farmer's market.
We have handouts prepared for that meeting, ready for you as
Okay,
well.
great. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Chief. Introduction of ordinances. We have two ordinances to introduce tonight. So the first is film ready. So what we may introduce tonight, certainly we'll consider, is ordinance number 2024-006, an ordinance amending, revising, and supplementing the revised general ordinances of the Township of Bedminster by establishing regulations and permit requirements for filming throughout Bedminster Township. So this is, and Robin, you can correct me from where I go astray here. New Jersey Film Commission and Somerset County are trying to promote film-ready municipalities. So these are municipalities that when a production crew identifies a location for television, movie, a set location, it's a film on site, that there's a town that's ready for them, that there's the infrastructure in place to support the filming and production elements, that we have an inventory, or that we've worked with the county, or no public comment yet. You can still hear us? Well, let's go through the introduction. That we can support a camera crew coming in and all the production, similar to what we've done sort of on an ad hoc basis. And this was done with the filming of Goodnight Mommy, and that was off of Cedar Ridge Road. We've had some other film production teams come through. Robin has been in touch with Ben from Somerset County, and I've been in touch with Ben from Somerset County as well. And we've also worked with County Commissioner, Executive Director, not Executive Director, Commission Director, Chanel Robinson, on promoting Somerset County for film readiness. Bernard's Township adopted I want to say it's not the exact same ordinance, because
Similar.
we made some adjustments, but similar to what Bernard's Township has done, and I can know that Mayor AC is very excited to work with film and production and working with working with the residents to accommodate filming. Robin, anything further about sort of the lead up and what the ordinance means?
Sure. So this is generally based on a template that comes from the State Motion Picture Commission. Most of the municipalities have adopted this. Some of them have tweaked it for their own insurance requirements or various different rules, or depending upon the type of neighborhood they have. We don't have a downtown or a city where others do. They have parking and other things to take into consideration. We're much more rural. So we kind of used the template, tweaked a little bit the way we wanted it, and our fee structure is very similar to all the other municipalities as far as price and also what the state recommends.
So if we introduce, the public hearing for this will be July 1st, 7 PM. So that'll be the opportunity for the public to ask questions and comments about this ordinance. So if you have a question about the ordinance allowing, it's not even allowing, it's really setting up a permit structure for filming in Bedminster, the public hearing will be July 1st. So we're not taking questions or going to deliberation of the ordinance tonight. We're just making a decision whether to introduce it. Once again, if we do introduce it, the public hearing will be July 1st. To have a motion to introduce, Mr. Rogers, we're not taking public comment on the ordinance. On introducing ordinance number 2024-006.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
The next ordinance is ordinance number 2024-015. This ordinance amends chapter 13 entitled Land Management, section 13-400, entitled District Regulations, and adds new section 13-401.3 entitled Lot Coverage Standards for All Single-Family Residential Uses in Bedminster Township. If introduced or approved for introduction, the public hearing for this ordinance is scheduled for July 15th. The reason it's July 15th rather than July 1st, as an ordinance affecting planning, it goes back for a consistency review to the planning board, for the planning board to opine on whether the ordinance is consistent or not inconsistent, or is inconsistent with Bedminster's master plans. The land use board is not meeting on July 4th. So their next meeting will be July 11th, which means we can only hear this after we get referral back from the planning board, which means after July 11th, public hearing would be scheduled for July 15th. So I will talk about this ordinance, why it's here. So as the planning board and the land use board goes through consideration and evaluation of all the variances that comes before it, those variances that get approved and those variances that get denied. And we look at those, every so often and say, okay, is there something wrong? Is there something off with our standards that we are routinely granting certain variances with an indication that perhaps something's amiss, right? And so one of the variances that have been routinely granted that applicants have been coming forward is with lot coverage. And one of the issues of why planning board is considering this is that we've had a lot of applicants coming in with requests to exceed the current lot coverage. Lot coverage in Bedminster can include things that you might not think of as coverage. a wood chip walkway or a wood chip path for someone to lead their horses out to pasture is considered coverage. So when you're getting into situations with larger properties, whether it's horse properties or larger properties in the R3 and R10, where you've got longer setbacks, we were seeing that the driveways to honor the front yard and rear yard setbacks were requiring longer and longer driveways, whether the gravel or pavement. That gravel or pavement was eating up lot coverage, so you're essentially left with less lot coverage around the house and the accessory structures. So the planning board went through I would say, months long process of trying to come up with some sort of consistent application for lot coverage. We're also finding that there was some variations in the application that you might end up with sort of staggered lot coverage as you jumped up in the percentage allowed. So it was sort of a weird situation. So one of the tasks was to come up with something that was more consistent and could be evenly applied through all the single-family residential zones. So what we've worked up with is something that is, rather than looking at one chart for each zone. So this ordinance would establish one chart, one table that would apply to all single-family residential parcels, regardless of zone, but rather based upon the parcel size. So if you have a 5-acre parcel in the R3 or an undersized 5-acre parcel in the R10, you'd still be looking at the same lot coverage allowance. All the other elements of setbacks for the R10 versus the R3 would still apply, but you would get the same amount of lot coverage. So it took a long time for the board working with Paul Ferrero to come up with this chart. After Paul prepared the chart, Colin and I both put some, played around with some of the words to make it plain and clear to anyone who might be looking at it as to what their lot coverage would be. And Paul has actually prepared an online tool that you could plug your property into this calculator, and it would spit out your permitted lot coverage under this ordinance. Colin, anything further to add?
Well, no, I mean, certainly, Mayor, none of us have interest in paving paradise and putting up a parking lot, but you were saying time and again, and this is true even back when there was modification of the single family cluster home neighborhood where I lived years ago, before I was even involved, was that our current lot coverage ordinance was preventing any type of investment in these properties. So when somebody came to us for a pool or a patio, as the mayor mentioned, you have a long driveway because you have significant setbacks in the R10 zone. Suddenly they were requiring a variance just to put in a simple addition to their home, making an investment in their property, which were appropriate investments for the size of those lots. So this, as the mayor said, prevents them from having to get a variance and can go. It's wise planning to enable those folks to make the investments in their properties that are called for.
Decks, patios, pools, those are some of the easy ones. And once again, by not having them as permitted, you're now forcing homeowners to hire attorneys, make applications to the board, come before the board seeking relief. It's adding expense and uncertainty to that process. By building it in, it really should allow homeowners, they'll know right away whether or not they've got the opportunity to just pull a building permit rather than having to come in and request a variance from the planning board. So you're absolutely right. And we were finding that folks were saying, look, a home of 3,000 square feet, 3,500 square feet in Bernardsville, they can put in a deck and a pool. But in Bedminster, they couldn't do so without pulling variance. So we were seeing a certain loss of investment and to some extent, folks who said, well, if I can't do it, I'm not going to buy here, or I'm going to sell my house and move out.
Right.
So we hope that this gives the opportunity to retain those folks who might otherwise feel constrained by the existing lot coverage. So with that, the chart is in the ordinance, and this chart once again would apply across all the residential districts for single family homes.
Mayor. Is now an appropriate time to make a comment, or are we just introducing?
I would just introduce, so we're not getting into the merits. Okay. With that, take a motion to introduce ordinance 2024-015.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson,
Aye.
Mr. Hickey,
Aye.
Ms. Moreski,
Aye.
and Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
And once again, the public hearing for this ordinance will be scheduled for July 15th. Okay, John, we've got 1, 2, 3. I think I'm off a couple pages. Oh, there it is. 7 ordinances, most of which are associated with the adoption of the budget. So we now have got money to spend. In prior years, you've told us there's an expedited way of introducing.
No, I said there was an expedited way of conducting the public hearing, but not doing them in bulk.
So how do we?
You have to have a public hearing on all those.
Yes.
You just go through a 2-step process when you do your public hearing. Like I think you make a motion to open and close, and at some point with a public hearing, you could just simply say, I open the public hearing. Does anyone have any comments?
Okay.
And if there's no comments and someone makes a motion to adopt the ordinance. Robin, how do you do it? Give me the script on how you do it. You do a 2-step process,
We open
right?
and then the public hearing, mayor asks for any comments, and if there are no comments, then we close, a motion to close. And then we do call for a motion to adopt. So it's 3 steps: open, close, and adopt. Motion to adopt.
Yeah,
No,
then
4
you
steps.
don't have to do an open and close. You
Open,
could just say,
discuss, close, adopt.
you could just say, I'm opening up the public hearing. Are there any comments? And if there's no comments, then you just call for a vote.
All right.
I sent you the script in Bernard's. I just don't have it memorized.
Yeah, you did.
I did, but I don't have the
If
script.
I told you I really looked at it, I'd probably be lying.
Teach old dog do tricks.
All right, so let's try it.
All right, yeah.
And John, feel free to correct me when
Right.
I go off.
Okay.
So the first ordinance we have for public hearing is ordinance number 2024-007. This ordinance authorizes appropriating $354,924.72 for capital facility improvements in Bedminster Township. May I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved?
Second.
No, John doesn't like it. He's already shaking his fist.
You don't need a motion to open the public hearing. You just ask the public if they have any comments on the ordinance.
Does public, we haven't even talked about the ordinance yet. Robin, what are we doing with $354,924.72?
And then you talk about it. Because you're waiting for the public to give you comments on it.
Yes,
Presumably, they've read it, you've published it, so now you're waiting to have comments from the public, and then after.
have you read the ordinance? No, they haven't read the ordinance.
Well, do it your old way then.
Okay.
We'd be much better off. We're used to
It's
that
just
way.
safer.
It is.
It's faster, but do it your old way.
I can tell you what it's about.
That would be great.
54,000 is for the roof project here at Bedminster Town Hall.
Which is a lot cheaper than the original 800,000
Wow.
to $1 million that Kevin had originally quoted us.
That's correct. And I should also tell you, yes, that's correct.
So we did discuss this at length during our budget meetings. 354,000 is much lower than the original quotes that we had from other contractors. Kevin is ready to go with it now that we've adopted the budget. Did we never really, okay. Motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does the public have any questions regarding ordinance number 2024-007? Okay. Motion to
Close.
close?
Yes,
John doesn't like that.
but we're so used to it.
Just do it the way you want. I'm looking at the script in Vernon's now.
Motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2024-007.
So moved.
Second. Oh,
Take a
All in
motion
favor?
to, aye.
aye.
Take a motion to approve ordinance 2024-007.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
That's 1 out of 7.
Okay.
Here's the actual
There we
script.
go.
See, I pulled the actual
Oh,
script up.
boy.
Okay, so again, if you want to do it this way, the mayor says, clerk, please read the ordinance by title. Then the mayor says, I open the public hearing and welcome comments. Then the mayor says, I close the public hearing, may I have a motion? And then a committee person says, I move ordinance such and such be adopted and is required by law. And then somebody seconds and then the mayor says, clerk, roll call, please. There's no motion involved.
Ordinance is a much more sophisticated municipality than Bedminster.
And that's 6 steps, actually.
So, while I have the
Safety.
greatest respect for the Burns Township Committee,
Do what you're familiar with. That's my,
Yes,
that's my direction. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There you go.
well done.
We could have been done by now. Sorry.
We had an interesting debate over parliamentary
Good try,
procedure.
John.
take a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance number 2024-008.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So this ordinance authorizes appropriation of $5,000 for building access control upgrades. Robin, that's for our
That's for the-
swipey cards to get in and get out, lock the
Correct.
doors. Once again, something that we discussed during budget session. Open the public hearing for public comment. Any members of the public? No. Take a motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2024-008.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-008.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs?
Aye. Next is ordinance number 2024-009, authorizes the funding for the 2024 pavement management plan for the Bedminster Township Department of Public Works. Made a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So once again, this is something that we discussed at length during budget session. This would appropriate $155,184.10 to the pavement management plan. So the 155 would be appropriated under this ordinance does not count the funds that were appropriated in prior years where the paving was not yet performed. And earlier, Robin talked about some of the pavement projects that have been deferred just because of timing and some of the PSE&G, New Jersey American Water, utility activities. So some of the paving projects were deferred. So while we're putting 155,000 into the 2024 pavement management plan, we are certainly spending a lot more than that in the 2024 calendar year. Does the public have any comments or questions regarding ordinance number 2024-009? Seeing none, take a motion to close the public hearing for, unless
I just
the
wanted
committee
to
has
say,
any comment?
yeah, I just wanted to say something.
Okay,
Why not, right? third rail of budgeting, right? Is paving. It's just, it's the single most expensive thing we have to worry about. So then we always say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We have to put money away from time to time when we can for the fund because it's so expensive. And, you know, DPW's, the roads are maintained. It's sort of the gatekeeper between the, you know, municipal government and the public. And it's important that, you know, we always talk about getting the streets paved so quickly. Well, I'm plowed so quickly in the snow. Well, same thing with paving. People don't like to have to dodge potholes to get home from work every day, but it's really, really expensive. So part of the DPW liaison stuff that I do, looking at that, it's just paving is just so heavy on the budget. You know, decide to do a road and, you know, you're affecting the budget for the year. So I want folks to understand that wherever we can, we need to put the money away.
And every year, it doesn't get cheaper.
Correct.
And this last year, paving certainly took a very steep increase on the cost of aggregate and the petroleum products that feed into paving.
But not to forget that we do aggressively apply for grants, so we do get DOT grants to offset different neighborhood projects, and this money supplements the grants, and we're very fortunate that we are getting those.
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's also where Robin coordinates with Kevin and Paul Ferrero.
Correct.
Because we know there are certain frameworks where state aid is more likely to be applied to paving projects. Connectivity, roads that connect municipalities, more likely to get that paving. Other connectivity, bikeways, as opposed to other neighborhoods, cul-de-sacs that
And to bring
much less likely to get that type of grant.
and to bring it full circle, right? That's why we say when we have our sort of estimate and what our expectations of what in a perfect world, but we're going to move that plan around. If we get
Right.
money to do something, we want to use the money as best we can. So
So if you
Kat's done a
go
great job.
online and you see the pavement management plan, it's not set in stone. It's always subject to where we can get money. And if we can get grants, we'll certainly prioritize those paving projects, even if we've already indicated that they might get preference over something else. You get free money, you're
You
gonna put
take
that to
it.
the top of the list.
That's it.
With those comments, take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Thank
Take
you.
a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-009.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
aye.
Ms. Moreski.
aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is ordinance number 2024-010, authorizes funding for various equipment for the Bedminster for the Far Hills Bedminster Fire Department. Take a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So this ordinance, once again, under a lot of discussion during budget session. This ordinance appropriates $27,000, 200 for equipment to support Far Hills Bedminster Fire Department. Any questions, comments from the public? Seeing none, any comments, questions from the Township Committee?
Yep.
Seeing none, take a motion to approve ordinance 2024.
Close.
Oh, you're right.
Close.
Thank you. Thank you for that step. You're right. I was in phone. Maybe too fast. Motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2024-010.
Renee.
Second. Someone.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Aye.
Now we'll take a motion to approve ordinance 2024-010.
So moved?
Second, sorry.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Next one.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye. Next is
Thank you.
ordinance 2024-011. This ordinance authorizes funding for various equipment for the Bedminster Township Police Department. And this ordinance would appropriate $45,236. Once again, for various police equipment. Once again, discussed at length during the budget session. We already moved. No, we didn't.
No,
We didn't move.
we have to open.
We have to. We have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 2024-01.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we talk.
Does the public have any questions or comments regarding this ordinance? Nope. Township committee? Nope. Take a motion to close public hearing for ordinance 2024-011.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we'll take a motion to approve.
Wait,
What?
wasn't it roll call?
No.
No, we're
just a
just close.
Oh,
I'll take a
I'm done with
motion.
this stuff.
Got you all confused.
Colin's the only one who has it.
You need the script in front
And
of
we're off for game because our second baseman is missing.
you. You need a script in front of you.
We're almost there. We're almost there. We'll take a motion to close the public hearing for ordinance 2024-011.
So moved.
So,
No, did we already do that?
no,
No.
second. I interrupted.
Okay.
Second. I'll second Renee's motion.
Okay, thank you. This would be a roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moretti.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye. Next is ordinance 2024-012, authorize the funding for various equipment for the Bedminster Township Department of Public Works. Take a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance number 2024-012.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This ordinance would appropriate $58,500 for various equipment for DPW. Once again, discussed at length during budget session, totally consistent with our budget. Public, any questions or comments? Seeing none, take a motion to close the public hearing for ordinance number 2024-012.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve.
Take a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-012.
So moved.
Second.
This will be a roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moretti.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye. So this may have been what the Rogers were here for, though there's really not much discussion. This is ordinance number 2024-014, authorizes $77,915 for engineering design engineering for design improvements to Union Grove, Lisk Hill, Daly, and Longview roads.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just, it should be 77,195.
It's 77,195.
Oh,
and
okay. The
4 grant
title,
that we received.
we've got 77,915 in the title.
Yeah.
I see that. It should be 195.
195.
Say $800.
That's right. So I'll take a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 2024-014. Doug?
The ordinance is funny?
Yeah, it should be. So we received a local aid grant for 286,530, and I think the way this is written is confusing, the way the title is written in the agenda.
Yeah.
So the ordinance appropriates 77,195 from the 2023 capital improvement fund for the engineering and design. This is money that we had already set aside. Now we're just appropriating that money for the engineering, for which we received a local aid grant for 286,530. It should have been written the other way.
So the 77 is coming out of the
77
286.
is coming from us.
23 capital.
We've already
fund, which we've
received-
Already set aside.
We've already received a grant for 286,000. So the 77 is Bedminster's contribution to the to the project.
We set aside the money in 2023 in our capital budget. We just never used it. Now we're using it. We're appropriating that funding now from our 2023 capital fund
Mhm.
of the 70.
So this isn't, so once again, this isn't coming from 2024
Correct.
budget funds. This is coming from money that was allocated and appropriated in 2020, in the 2023
Yeah, the
budget.
Not written clear,
We're just we're just using it now.
correct.
So this is no impact on the 2024 budget.
Thank you for the explanation.
thank you.
But
Thank you.
yeah, it wasn't written.
And it is the 195, not the 915.
It's 77195.
Five.
Yes.
So the title is
I
wrong.
have the backup for it all here, actually.
And this is,
719.
so although the Rogers aren't here, this is for engineering in support of that project that's going to look at drainage, flooding concerns that would then be implemented into the ultimate paving project itself.
Correct.
Questions, comments from the public?
I have a question.
Oh. Name and street address.
Julia O'Brien, Stevens Court. So this is for the design, not for the improvements?
Robin?
That's correct. So usually what we do is we separate the engineering and design from the actual improvement themselves, because the improvements we actually get grants for, we hope to get grants for, and we did receive a grant in this case. So we received a grant for the construction, but the engineering's on us. The grant does not cover engineering fees. So the township has to pay.
So
for
the
that.
engineering would be from our municipal engineer, Paul Ferrero. And engineering on these projects doesn't get, we talk about the projects themselves don't get cheaper, but also the engineering gets much more difficult, especially in light of some of the drainage and stormwater management elements that Bedminster and every municipality now has to deal with. So we have to deal with the stormwater management. And when you're out in that area where you don't have curbs, and you have to manage and control the stormwater from that project. And also have, it's not just the stormwater volume, but also you have to have the sediment control plans in place. So that's where a lot of the engineering comes in on that design. So it's not just designing the roadway, but it's designing the stormwater management around the road. And we ask this question every year, and it is just expensive. And when you're doing a lot of the projects with state aid, there's additional engineering requirements and additional submittals that go back to the state for review and approve of the engineering. So you're not just getting 286,000 to spend, you're getting 286,000, plus you have to go through the engineering process going back to Trenton for them to approve to approve the expenditures. Questions from the township committee? Nope. Take a motion to close the public hearing for ordinance number 2024-014.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi,
Take a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-014.
So moved.
Second.
Will be a roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
That's it for our ordinances.
Deep breath.
Yeah.
Faster than I was driving on Route 287. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items on the consent agenda. These are items of a routine nature. Any township committee member may pull one or any of them off for individual consideration. Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second,
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
All right.
Thank you.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6 items for individual consideration. The first is resolution 2024-069 authorizes and approves the amended shared services agreement with Borough of Forest Hills for tax sewer utility collector office services. Ms. Ray.
Yes, Mayor, I can explain. Back in 2014, the township felt it was in the best interest of both the borough and the township to enter into a shared tax collector, sewer utility collector arrangement. Then we had some changes in personnel. We had some retirements. We revised that original agreement back in 2019. And now it needs to be revised again based on some budget suggestions this year. The number of line items in Far Hills have gone up for sewer and also for tax collectors. So we thought this was a good opportunity to make some changes to the arrangement that were in Bedminster's favor. And in addition to the additional lines in Far Hills, Edmonds, we moved to the Edmonds tax platform earlier in the year. We were forced to. The company we've been working with went out of business across the state. So they forced us each to get our own license where before we shared one license. So now we took that out of the equation as well. This also, another change to this agreement was the removal of the deputy tax collector. We do not have a deputy tax collector available. And it also does change Adriana's hours. Currently, Adriana is working, the tax collector is working 4 hours on borough business, where we felt that 6 hours was more appropriate.
So,
Far Hills be paying their proportionate share of the increase in hours.
so for the tax and sewer utility collector office, Far Hills residents can come here.
Right.
Okay.
They have a wonderful situation. They pay for a part-time tax collector, sewer utility collector, but they get full-time advantage, so they can come here 5 days a week.
So they don't have to schedule for 4 hours or 2 hours a week here. They can always come. Okay. And I see that Far Hills has already signed off on this agreement, so we are the only ones holding this up from complete execution. Any further questions from Township Committee? Seeing none, take motion to approve resolution 2024-069.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Marasky.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacob.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is resolution 2024-083. This resolution appoints.
Sorry.
I'm moving as fast as
I know, you're doing a good job. It's not you.
This resolution appoints police officer Jeffrey Veltri to the position of sergeant in the Township of Bedminster Police Department. So this appointment follows what was it? How many interviews? 5?
5 candidates.
5.
So we had 5 candidates.
Multiple days.
Multiple days of interviews, Committeeman Stevenson and I, Chief Bernardo, Lieutenant Polito, Administrator Robin Ray, conducted a series of interviews with all the eligible candidates. They were all fantastic, and as Doug and I have said in the past, going through this interview process is a reminder of really how great our staffing is right now in the police department. And we had many just excellent candidates, and we could only choose one. There's only one opening, and without hesitation, Jeff Veltri is the right candidate for this position. I want to give full credit to Chief Bernardo and Lieutenant Polito for the way they handled and administered the interview process. And Chief, I think we're all very proud of Officer Veltri, soon to be Sergeant Veltri, as soon as we sign off on this resolution. Doug, any further comments, questions?
Yeah, Mayor, I think you sort of nailed it right on the head. I echo what you said, particularly about Officer Veltri, soon to be Sergeant Veltri, but also the pool of candidates. It's over the, 8 years or so, it's sort of done a 180 where you sort of have some concerns, and now the concerns that you have are totally different. And it's, how do I keep everybody happy? Because I got so many good candidates. So you got overachieving, hungry heroes that want to go out and better themselves and better the municipality. And I can imagine we're prime for the plucking, but we'll take what we have. We have a great group here, a huge fan of our police force. And Chief, what you're doing in the community policing, it is, your stamp on that has it came through time and again, in speaking with the folks that are the future leaders, and they are all aware of that aspect of what you want and what you expect, quite frankly. And the department in general, I think, just answers the bell all the time. But the ability to fill in spots with folks are just going to be superstars. It's great. And when you have someone in a leadership ability like a sergeant, and you're running a team and you lead by example, that is the best kind of leader you can have. And that is what Jeff Feltry is. He's going to lead by example and get with the plan, because the plan's coming to you. And I think he's got a very, very nice way of having that law and order mentality, yet community-based policing. And he just has an ability to ride that very well. So, in full support.
We'll talk about Jeff, what he do his swearing in, but Doug, I think you nailed it with Jeff Feltry. He's equally at home, driving by, pulling off to the side to shoot hoops with some kids. At the same time, I would not want to be a bad guy on the other end of Jeff Feltry.
That's right.
And also, his leadership skills just come shining through. And this is not his first time being a sergeant. Been a sergeant in Marines as well. So in his 4 years with Marines, he made sergeant pretty quickly. So I think that's a great indication of his personality, his attitude, and just a great selection. Take a motion to approve resolution 2024-083.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson,
Aye.
Mr. Hickey,
Aye.
Ms. Moraski,
Aye.
and Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
And Chief, what are we doing a swearing in next meeting?
Yes, July 1st.
Great. Okay, thank you. Next resolution, 2024-089. This resolution authorizes the consent to the proposed Northeast, Upper Raritan, and Lower Raritan, Middlesex County Water Quality Management Plan Amendment. Ms. Rett.
I knew you were gonna ask me about this one. Okay, so this resolution comes to us from Somerset County, from Walter Lane's Office of Planning, Policy, and Economic Development. And the county actually puts together the Somerset County Septic Management Plan. And that's what this is about. It has to do with the Somerset County Wastewater Management Plan. And since we are part of the county, we need to adopt this resolution as well.
So the county is already moving ahead with this, with these revisions.
That's correct.
So essentially, we don't really have a choice.
Don't have a choice.
We don't have a choice.
This is a directive from the state that all of your municipalities within Somerset County that are part of this plan have to submit a resolution if they support it.
Like the choice is go find a different someone to get rid of your waste.
That's correct.
Well, this seems to
Years ago, municipalities would formulate their own wastewater management plans and then send them up to the county and state. And that was just too cumbersome and disjointed. So now it's the county does it.
proposed wastewater quality management plan amendment, publicly noticed, Somerset County.
This is just on your septic.
Yeah. Well, states, county's already there. We're not getting into any other water quality management plan.
It's, and the way I read it, it's a consent to what's already been done.
Yeah.
To the service we need. I mean,
Routine.
yeah,
I do it for the sewerage authority in Bernards, so I'm familiar with the process.
okay.
And DP requires the municipality to sign off on it, and that's what the resolution does. So, the further questions or comments, take a motion to approve resolution 2024-08.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson,
Aye.
Mr. Hickey,
Aye.
Ms. Moreski,
Aye.
and Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is resolution 2024-092. This resolution authorizes consent to the proposed, submission of a grant application and execution of a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the Gatehouse, Autumn Ridge, Kestrel, and Drummers Log Road Improvement Project. Ms. Ray.
Sure, Mayor. So this is one of those DOT local aid grants we talked about for Litchfield and Union Grove and then for the River Woodland Tuttle. So this year we're applying for Gatehouse, Autumn Ridge, Kestrel, and Drummers Log up in the hills. I will tell you the last time that these roads were paved was in 2009. So they're in some rough shape. So we're really hoping that this
Happy
keeps
trails.
this grant. And this just authorizes the township engineer to submit through that PMRS system, the grant application to the state.
So similarly, if this grant were to be approved, I'm not sure where these roads currently sit on the pavement management plan, but they would, if the grant was approved, they'd be expedited for
That's correct.
in the pavement management.
They're actually scheduled for 2025 on pavement.
Okay, so
No, perfect.
So it
It
fits.
really works out
Okay.
quite well. First time in a long time.
Ah,
There's no further questions or comments. Take a motion to approve resolution 2024-092.
So,
second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs. Thank you.
Next is resolution 2024-094. This resolution states that the governing body of the Township of Bedminster has reviewed at a minimum the general comments and recommendations of the registered municipal accountant on the annual audit for 2023. This is a resolution we consider every year and is an indication that we have reviewed the audit. We've seen the comments and recommendations, which are the same that we've seen every year, recommending that we act as a larger municipality would and divide up some of the financial offices, which is impossible for a town of our size. Any further questions or comments? Robin, any further?
Now, there's
Comments from
actually
you?
two resolutions. The first one is just that you've reviewed the audit. And the second one is the next one, 095, which is the corrective action plan. And there's one additional comment. So this is just strictly your review of the audit, which you all received about a
Yes.
month ago.
Yep. No further questions or comments. Take a motion to approve resolution 2024-094. So moved.
Second?
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye. And then the final resolution, 2024-095. This authorizes the approval of the corrective action plan submitted by the chief financial officer for 2023. Robin, any
Yeah.
further
Well,
comments?
just the one comment which we always get, as you had mentioned, Mayor, was the segregation of treasury functions. We're just such a small municipality with part-time that it's impossible. The other one, which is new this year, is about the Animal Control Fund appropriation reserves. We had an over expenditure of about $571 this year. And the recommendation is that the reserve be monitored more fervently to, prevent the over expenditure. But we are actually vetting other contractors for animal control because the expenses are just off the charts.
So essentially, locally, there's basically a monopoly on
It's a
animal
monopoly
control.
and it's awful and we're looking at other ways we're pursuing other options, actively pursuing other options. Now's the time to do it. So we've been working on it for about 2-3 months now.
I was going to make a geese reference, but I'm not going to.
Don't,
No.
this is just regular cats and dogs. I mean, this is really nothing out of the ordinary. Just leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that. No further questions or comments. Take a motion to approve resolution 2024-095.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye. We'll take a motion to approve the bill list pending review of individual invoices.
So
Second.
Stevenson. Roll call.
Oh,
Sorry.
aye.
Mr. Hickey.
Aye.
Ms. Moreski.
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs.
Aye.
I'm sorry, a lot of these had to be put on the non-consent agenda because they had to be reviewed in public, so it's, I apologize for the long length of these.
Well, that's it for ordinances, resolutions, and we made it through. Any matters for new business consideration? Seeing none, old business DOT improvements. There have been no updates. There's been no further communication from DOT on the 206 crosswalk. Both the chief, Robin, and I will continue with Meredith down at DOT to see what we can get some action there. Utilities. Committeeman Hickey.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple updates. First off, Altice, Knollcrest is expected to be ready for fiber migration beginning next Monday, June 24th. So this will be the 5th neighborhood that Altice will have fibered. So now we have 5 Altice fiber neighborhoods and 5 Verizon Fios fiber neighborhoods.
Overlap?
There is some overlap in Cortland, and there's one other.
Sorry for the pop quiz.
No, that's right, because I'm trying to think this. I'm trying to think. There was, I thought there was one.
Cressman is gonna be signing in?
Crestmont has not signed yet.
Okay.
You've got Pinevale being built right now. It should be completed by the end of the month, but people can sign up now in Pinevale. You've got Long Meadows already fibered by Fios. Which one am I missing? Crestmont is,
Still run?
no. Timberbrook's outside the hills.
Yeah, no, but they were talking about,
No, they're
they
gonna,
said we already have it.
they already have it, so they're not interested.
They didn't want competition.
No.
Nope.
Oh,
And I asked and they said nope. So, hands up. So we got 5 and 5.
Wood Duck?
No, Wood Duck just got Altice.
Oh, okay.
So Altice is Wood Duck,
feel like we're
Four
playing
Oaks,
bingo.
Cortland, Knollcrest, and Wynwood. They got all 5?
Sure.
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry.
I'm waiting on confirmation for the next 4 neighborhoods that Altice is expected to build. Those are Mayfield, Fieldstone, Village Green, and Long Meadow. So they're doing their internal approvals, capital requests. So we should hear shortly on that.
That's a big building.
That's a
Big build.
big
It's a
build
big
out.
build-out.
Yes. So that's why they've got to get all the internal approvals lined up. New Jersey American Water.
Do we know anything about the registration? Are you getting anything back from?
Oh, yeah, people have been signing up.
Okay.
People are getting it installed. Yes, yeah. So no direct feedback yet, but installs are out there right now in areas like Wood Duck, Four Oaks, and Cortland, from what I've heard.
Yeah, be curious to get just.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
see what the sign up rate is.
And the funny thing is, I also want to get some direct feedback from, the Rich Costas of the world, the Jeff Leonards of the world, because they're doing it. I want to hear how the process is going. If there are any issues, we can take those right back to Altice and get them in front of them.
The landscaping, the interference. Also like to hear anecdotally, certainly improvement in
Right.
quality.
Quality. You should see a significant improvement in quality. It's a night and day difference between coaxial cable that's been in the ground for 35 years and fiber.
It may be by the Simons.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
Yes, that's right. Quick update, New Jersey American Water. Robin, Kevin, Rodney, and myself recently met with New Jersey American Water field operations personnel. I think, Robin, you say we had a very productive meeting. We covered a lot of ground. We talked about the call center issues again to refresh people's memories. New Jersey American was redirecting people to Bedminster Water or to Miss Ray's office, particularly when they were building metered as opposed to individually metered. So we're trying to rectify that situation. They understand the issue now, so they are working actively to resolve that. We discussed upcoming construction projects, the sewer plant reconstruction, and improving ways of communicating and coordinating between ourselves. Anything else I missed, Robin?
We talked about the treatment trailer briefly.
Yes,
Up
we
at,
just got a letter on that
Hudson
today,
Farm.
right?
Just got a letter follow up on that, but everything we asked about, they were very responsive.
Yeah. No, it's a good team and it's fortunate because we've had a good team in place, but because of the retirement of Ken Taylor, we want to make sure that that work continues.
Oh, the repeater shed, that was the other.
Oh, yes, thank you. Appreciate that. And PSNG, I know Kevin has been in contact regarding Old Stonehouse Road, but we should probably wait to get the update from him. Unless Doug, you have anything on that?
I heard through Little Birdies that it's going in, like in real time, like today, yesterday. And people are now converting over.
And that was another paving project that essentially between, so with PSNG bringing the line down on the west side of Old Stonehouse with the laterals crossing across the street to those on the other side who are connecting to PSNG and sort of going up. We'll see PSNG will be responsible for a good amount of the repaving of Old Stonehouse. So we thought it might be deferred for another year, but it looks like it's all happening, Doug, as you say, in real time. So it's a great. So also it's another indication of working with the communities about improving their utility service. So, just as a reminder, we had gone out, myself, Renee, Doug and Gina, talking to the folks in Stonehouse, Deer Haven, Old Dutch, Berkshire, and Ski Hill. And where we can get PSE&G to extend natural gas service to. And Old Stonehouse was really the only neighborhood that could get a commitment from nearly all its residents to commit to that project. So not sure if in the end it actually cost them much at all.
And that was the key.
Yeah.
What's the phrase when you're purchasing in bulk, they had the power. If you're just a one-off, yeah, we'll run the line to you. You got to pay for it.
Yeah. By getting everyone, and it's not a big street, right?
Right.
I'm not sure how many houses are there, but they got enough residents to support it with enough utility service, right? So it's not just, I'm going to connect my stove.
Right, it was credit.
I'm going to connect my stove, my water heater, my furnace, give up the oil tank, give up everything else. And, you know what? But this may be, if it's successful and those folks are happy with the upgrades and it increases home values, it may be, you revisit the issue on Ski Hill, you revisit the issue on Old Dutch and Deer Haven.
And the way it was supposed to work, Mayor, was that anyone on Old Stonehouse that took a pass that now wants to tap in, now that it's there, the residents that paid for the existing line, to the extent they paid for it, will actually see a refund on that when other folks tap in. So it's not like one of those things where people can take a wait and see approach. The money should even out after, I think it's 20 years on that.
Yeah.
After 20 years, then it's fair game. For what it's worth.
Right. So that's great to see that move forward. Pluckman Park, John and Doug, I imagine. No further updates?
Communication to the owner went out. I know we spoke about that last meeting. Nothing in response yet. So we've got to.
Under the new zoning, property maintenance ordinance is my understanding, correct, Robin?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Regarding property maintenance violations, the zoning officer sent the owner a notice
Okay, good.
asking for corrections.
All right, good.
So we're waiting for those to be conducted.
Okay, I'll talk about Somerset Hills Public Safety Committee. We had a virtual meeting. That was last week. Chief Bernardo and Robin joined me along with Mayor AC, Bernard's, Chief DeCarolis from Far Hills, Mayor Crigliano from P-PAC and Gladstone. Matt Mensch from Bridgewater was away, could not make it. Kevin Welsh, Mayor Welsh was also busy, couldn't make it. But we do have some updates. Bridgewater did introduce the similar ordinance that the other 5 towns have already introduced and approved. And Bridgewater is scheduled to have their public hearing and second read of the ordinance. Robin was at the
28th, June 28th,
June 28th. So June 28th, it's anticipated,
27th, I'm so sorry.
27th is anticipated that Bridgewater will also adopt that public safety ordinance. Then we did talk a little bit further about some of the policing issues that we're seeing in the other towns, particularly in Bedminster Township. John, you're probably well aware of the situations they've been dealing with there. And, you know, lessons learned that are applicable to all the other municipalities and to the policing there. So once again, bringing the mayors and the chiefs together and just to have an opportunity to talk about the implementation. And once again, we did not, we applied for the federal grant, what used to be called an earmark, for the traffic cameras, license plate readers. We didn't get it, but we are pursuing other grants opportunities for the purchase, operation, and installation of those. We had Robin and I had a conversation with Congressman Kane's office about those other grant opportunities. So we will be pursuing those as well. And certainly the takeaway from having the discussion at the Public Safety Committee is that those tools work. There's, you know, I was a bit of a skeptic when license plate readers, what is that going to do? It's going to be too late. It's not going to be fast enough. But certainly the situation in some of these municipalities is proof positive that they do work and they are a tool that works for police. So we will continue to pursue those grant opportunities for the installation. Our next meeting isn't until I think later end of July on that. We've got some vacations coming up. And we'll be reporting later on that and also be waiting to hear from Mayor Munch about their adoption of that ordinance in our neighboring towns to the south. We do not have an executive session tonight. So we'll go through Township Committee comments and then we will adjourn until July.
Yeah.
Committeeman Stevens.
Thank you, Mayor. My only comment, and I want to respect the confidentiality of the process in all respects, is to the officers who applied for the sergeant position that were not selected. Each of you impressed in your own way. I can speak for myself, and I don't want to speak for anybody else in the committee, but I can just say that each applicant was extraordinarily eager, wanted the role, and we understood that it was an extraordinarily hard decision for us to make. As Mayor said, there's only one spot, and I felt all the applicants were each had something to bring to the position. And my takeaway from it was just that I really am very positive about where we are with our department. Again, you talk about gatekeepers and DPW, and I'm always giving updates about what we're doing, but you know, police officers, let's face it, they're the first of the first responders, 9 times out of 10. So just really, really thankful for the options that we had. I think we made a great decision, but just encourage the folks that interviewed, come out, interview for the next position, that opens up. Hopefully, we've got, a revolving door, but you want consistency, but we've got excellent depth and Lieutenant Polito, Chief Bernardo, you did a great job in preparing the process and having a good spirited sort of discussion about police affairs. So thank you.
Committeeman Hickey.
Thank you, Mayor. No comments, but to answer your question, I just recalled Winwood and Cortland have
So Winwood and Cortland,
both
Have both
FiOS
FiOS.
and Maltese fiber. They are in the catbird seat.
can you go door to door and let me know who has which?
I can certainly do a survey if you'd like.
Under HIPAA laws or something.
Yeah, probably are.
Committeewoman Moreski.
Congratulations, Officer Velchi. I haven't gotten to meet all the officers, but it is good to hear all the things that Doug has to say about all our officers that are with us in Bedminster. Makes you feel really safe. And I also want to congratulate all our Bedminster seniors graduating this year, both at Burnsville and at other schools. Have a great summer, kids, because after this, it gets tough. Have a good summer, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
And special congratulations to Gina Fernandez on the graduation of her youngest, her Ty. So congratulations, Gina. And once again, to the police department, we are now at the largest staffing, certainly since I've been on Township Committee. We are at 18. That is with 4 sergeants, chief and a lieutenant. And right now, the camaraderie and the spirit in the police department is at the greatest we've ever seen, certainly I've ever seen. So once again, kudos to Chief Bernardo and Lieutenant Polito for running the police department and having an excellent, Doug, as you said, it's not just they come here and they work, they actually have a great affection for Bedminster Township and its residents. So is apparent during the interview process. It's also apparent in just being at the farmers market and just seeing these guys come through and just talk about their experience in town. It's really great to hear. So congratulations and thank you to everyone who did participate in that. And at 8:38, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Hi.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
That'll wake the dead.
What's that?
That'll wake the dead.